We're really pleased to have Gabrielle Nevaeh Green and Noah Eagle join us here. Jack McMullen, Colby, Olson. This is fun, man. Noah, I know you personally, but Gabby, I want to start with a question for you right away. Our mission, personally at Den Geek and with just baseball, is to make baseball and football coverage really fun. Why is this so fun for you guys?
It's so fun for me specifically because I'm always trying to find things that will push me out of my comfort zone because I don't like to get too comfortable. I never like to get in a rut and do the same thing over and over again. So this is so fun for me because I'm exercising a muscle that I didn't even know I had or that was even existed for females in the industry. And it's just really fun to be able to do it with good people. Like Noah and Nate are such great people. And now we have young Dylan joining us for this broadcast, and we're really good friends. So I'm really excited to be doing this with him as well.
Yeah, and Gabby, last year the game only had 3,000 in attendance due to COVID. This year you're going to be at AT&T Stadium, 80,000 people, packed house. What is that going to be like for you?
Wow, that's gonna be insane because first of all, I'm such a people person. So like anytime I'm in a big crowd or I'm like at a party or things like that, or where there's a lot of people, I'm like thriving. That's where I do my best. So it's gonna be so much fun to see the fans and cheering for their team and things like that. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna add to the overall excitement, and I think that's gonna be something that we can feed off of, Dylan can feed off of, and it's gonna make the broadcast even better.
All right, so this one's for both of you. Let's start with you, Noah, because I asked you last year. I said, "How are you prepping for this thing?" Aside from the football thing, which I know you do, but you said I'm also going to watch a ton of Drake and Josh and things like that. Non-football wise, how are you getting ready for the wild card game?
Similar, Jack, similar stuff, guys. First of all, it's great to talk to you. I think Gabby has already said it. We're just super excited to take a step up from what we did last year. I think the best thing for us is keeping that core nucleus group together and having myself, Nate, Gabby, but also producing Ken Mack, he's back, Suzanne Smith directing, Sean Robbins overlooking everything. So to have everybody with the experience of last year, the best way I could describe it to you guys is like, I don't know how you guys did with Rubik's cubes when you were younger, but
Not good.
I learned right. I learned how to do one side. And once I learned how to do one side of a Rubik's cube, I got one little part of my brain apparently that works. The one side worked really well. And I knew right away now I can do one side quickly. And as I kept doing it, it got better and better and better. And I think that that's the best metaphor I can bring for this year's broadcast is we learned how to do one side of the Rubik's Cube. Now maybe we can perfect two sides, or we can get three sides, or who knows by the end of this broadcast. But my preparation remains somewhat the same. I'm going to learn the teams as I normally do. I'm going to have all the storylines of the game and the history of these two in particular in this matchup with Dallas and San Francisco. But I already started last night watching some Loud House, watching some Rugrats, going back, watching some old All That, some new All That featuring Gabrielle Nevaeh Green. So I'm kind of getting well-rounded, trying to get everything, make sure that I've got all my bases covered.
Good stuff. Gabby, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to strategize how to slime Nate. That's my that's my biggest preparation. That's non-football related. I'm like, how can we get him at the end of the game? It would be so perfect because we've talked about it last year, and I'm like, I want to do it either virtually or in real life. Either way, somebody's got to get slimed. But you're gonna have to watch the broadcast to see who gets the green goodness all over him. But of course, watching Nickelodeon shows and researching, not really researching, but going back in time a little bit in my brain and going back to the original shows like, Rugrats and things like that, and having enough references to cover every aspect that could possibly occur in the game.
Gabby,
And
real
what
life
is it?
slime would be so much better.
I
So much
know,
better.
me too. I agree. I totally agree. But I'm saying,
Jack,
if
it's
he doesn't want
called
to mess
green
up the package.
goodness now, Jack.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. So you mentioned sliming Nate. What is it like working with Nate on and off air? He seems like just a blast of a guy.
Oh, he's so awesome. He's so awesome. He's such a kind-hearted person, and I feel like that's really rare, and I feel like that's really important to be a good person because at the end of the day, none of this matters. This is what matters. I've got a heart on my shirt today, but Nate is such a really great person. He's so supportive. He's always, keeping in contact and reaching out through social media and really just, giving me advice on how to do this, how to do that. And especially up in the booth last year, Nate and Noah were both very, very helpful, taking me under their wing and teaching me the basics of how to basically handle myself up there. And it's just been an honor to get to work with someone who is so successful and also such a great person at the same time.
Yeah, Gabby gets to say that we were a pleasure last year. We did have plexiglass between us, so we'll see if something changes this season around. But Nate is there are not enough superlatives to describe the guy on the air, off the air, on the field, off the field. Everything he does, he's got the Midas touch because of the type of person he is, as Gabby described, just kind-hearted, genuine. Everything you see is what you get. There's no act, there's no facade he puts up, and that's so important. It really is. And to have somebody that everything he's doing is coming from a good place, it just makes it that much better to work with him. And then when you realize all that good place is true, I'm not even talking about shows or anything here. Everything, all that good place is it's just genuinely awesomeness, like real awesomeness from a person. It's special. It's special when you get to work with someone like that. So we're excited to do it again.
Okay, so I brought a prop for the interview. I got this bad boy.
Yes.
Hey, there you go.
I immediately had to purchase when I saw Mitch Trubisky won the MVP last year, being from Chicago, being a struggling Bears fan. I needed it to remember Mitch by. So Cowboys, Niners, each of you, can you give me a pick for who you would like to see as the MVP?
Yeah, I'll start on this one here. I think that there are so many options, and Gabby has already heard our sideline reporter, Young Dylan, talk a lot about Deebo Samuel, who I think he's very excited about. He can't wait to see Deebo Samuel on the field. I would say he's certainly an option. If San Francisco were to win that game, to me, he's got to take it. He's just a Swiss Army knife. But if Dallas is going to win and they're at home, I'm going with the Dallas pick for MVP this year. And I think, this is drum roll, I'm going to build the suspense. I am going with Ezekiel Elliott. He is Nickelodeon made. Now, It's a tough choice because I do think that Trayvon Diggs' son, Aiden, could also win MVP. So I don't really know, but that's my gut feeling is I'm going with Zeke.
Okay. It might be a shocker.
Yeah.
And you, Gabby, what do you think?
No, there's only one person that I really, really want to have the MVP, and that's Dak Prescott, because I'm biased. I'm rooting for the Cowboys because I have friends in Texas, and they're such a great team. So I want Dak to have the MVP.
That's awesome. Well, so Sean Payton got slimed last year. We're talking about sliming Nate, obviously. Sean Payton got slimed at the end of the game. What do you think is going to happen when one of these coaches gets slimed this year? We got Mike McCarthy. We have who's on the
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan.
You got to come prep for this, man.
Oh my gosh, I'm just blanking on names over here. Terrible.
Well, Gabrielle, you're the slime expert, so you got to tell us what your thoughts are about slime and coaches.
Well, I mean, it's very similar to like a thick Gatorade, like a thick drink. So it's kind of the same feeling, just a little bit colder maybe. So I think they'll enjoy it. I mean, who doesn't want to be slimed by a Nickelodeon broadcast only to be done twice? That's historic. That's great. So I think they'll have a lot of fun.
Okay. Not to mention, by the way, if you win the game, you're going to be excited for whatever. You're moving on in the playoffs. You're ready to be slimed. My only criticism of Sean Payton is that he did not take his Jordans off when he got slimed last year. Absolute travesty. Cannot happen.
No, Concord 11s, like those
Correct.
were not with the white mesh. I mean, that stains quick. So you got to deal with that. You got to take some necessary precautions there.
You can't resell those after they're slimed. You can't put them on StockX. That's not how this works. You got to keep those.
You might uptick actually the price there.
Now they're limited edition. Yeah.
Limited edition.
With the slime Jordans.
Right.
It's very possible. All I know is if it were me, I'd take those Concords off.
Yeah.
And so do you guys have a favorite player, current or old, when you were growing up? Who's your favorite NFL player?
Of all time?
Of all time. Could be current, could be when you were growing up, anytime.
Yeah, but you're a Rams fan.
I am a Rams fan, but of all time, I'd probably say Tom Brady because I got to interview him last year and he only eats pizza once a year. Only once a year. And it also has vegetables on it. And I was so confused. I was like, dude, you only eat pizza once a year. You wouldn't like dip that in chocolate or like add stuff to it and say, oh, it was only one pizza. But I couldn't comprehend that he was so disciplined and so into his workout and things like that. It just shows how hard he works. But I was just like, dude, no, not one piece of pizza and have broccoli on it. This is not it.
Correct. Especially if you're from New York, which I know that Tom's not. But if you work and you're not going to have pizza, I don't know what you're doing, or Chicago for that matter. I'm sorry, Jack. I should give you guys your props, but
It's okay.
I feel like I'm going to go just against the grain here. Jack knows who I'm a fan of growing up, so I'm going to go with an unknown name, Jericho Cotchery. That's going to be my answer for you.
What a weird answer, man.
Come on, this is what I'm here for.
That's a great answer. That's
okay,
a great
hey,
answer.
Gabby, quick follow up on the Brady thing. Who likes avocado more, you or Tom Brady?
Oh, probably Tom Brady, because I cannot take avocado. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. A lot of my friends eat it, but I feel like that's probably maybe Tom's thing,
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know how much avocado Jericho Cotchery took in. So hey, one more from me. A lot. Gabby, I saw that you have impressions of Cardi and Beyonce. I hear Cardi all the time from a lot of people. It's not that good. I want to hear Beyonce though, because I never hear a Beyonce impression.
You want to hear Beyonce?
Oh, that's good.
It's been a long time since I whipped out Beyonce.
Oh,
so
that's
I might be a little rusty, but she here. Hey y'all, it's me.
Good.
Beyonce.
Good stuff, Gabby. Wow.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done that. I was like, oh, I thought you were gonna ask me to do Cardi. I was like, I got Cardi down, but wow, okay, cool.
It's like
I met
like
you and
riding a
Beyonce
bike.
in one day.
It's like riding a bike; it never goes away.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and so Gabby, you mentioned you make shirts for the Super Bowl every year. What goes into that process?
Oh, so we usually get like white t-shirts, and then we go to the nearest supply store and get paint. And depending on whatever players are playing, in the Super Bowl or whatever game we're watching, we'll get the color paint of that team. And then my number is always 5 because I was born on May 5th, 2005 at 5 p.m. on the 5th day of the week.
What?
So my jersey number is always 5. And that's really what we do every year. We hang them up on, coat hangers and hang them in the kitchen, wait for them to dry, and then we wear them during the game.
Well,
That's
you know
awesome.
what, Gabby, for your sake, I hope that Tom Brady is in the Super Bowl for you guys so you can watch that. My Bears won't be in it. I know Noah's Jets won't be in it. And Colby, maybe your Pats will be. But Gabby and Noah, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. And have a blast with this game.
Yeah, bring out your inner kid, guys. Enjoy it.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.